Good morning. Pin a comment here. Good morning, everyone. Okay, hi. Good morning, guys. I feel so funny. I feel like The Rock with like my chains outside of my turtleneck. Good morning, everyone. So I am in Tampa, Florida, and it is cold here. Like, I want a refund. I need the warm weather. Like, what is even happening right now? So, turtlenecks it is. So today, y'all, we are talking about word of mouth in 2023, and I'm really, really excited to have this conversation with you guys because, you know, as always, I want to help you guys get more clients and get more of the right clients. And word of mouth is a piece of the puzzle. Now, as many of you know, if we've hung out in the DMs together, word of mouth, if that is your only way of getting clients, it does leave you vulnerable, okay? So we don't want that to be our only way of getting clients, just because we can set it up perfectly. I'm gonna show you guys how to set up your clients and your business to get more word of mouth. Like, we can set it up perfectly, but at the end of the day, we are relying on other people following through, talking about us, telling their friends and family about us, and all of that. Even like styling their hair the right way, right? If their hair looks bad and they're talking about you all the time, it doesn't really help you get any new clients. So I want to make sure that you understand at the beginning of this conversation that word of mouth shouldn't be your only way of attracting new clients. But it is an important piece. And so much has changed. I mean, I remember when I was first starting out, I would like drive around town with my business cards and drop them off at all the local businesses and stuff. Like, that's really how I started to try to build up word of mouth when I started my career. This was like in 2010. And so obviously things are different now, and what people want and what wows people is totally different. So when we're thinking about getting our clients to refer their friends and family, the expectations are a little bit higher now. A mediocre experience is, you know, just leaving with good hair, that isn't always going to be enough to inspire your clients to shout your name from the rooftops, okay? So that's what I'm gonna help you do today, is like shape everything up a little bit so you're truly like encouraging them to get going and do the right thing. I'm getting so distracted because I feel like my little Manny is so cute today. Okay, anyway, let's focus. Hi guys. Hello, good morning. Okay, so I pulled some different stats for us to kind of start off this conversation. And so here we go. And these are all pulled from 2023. So these are going to be current in the past 6 months, past year. So a Nielsen report says that 92% of customers believe suggestions from friends and family more than advertising, okay? I don't think that's really surprising, but it's just good to really like remember this and keep it in the forefront of our mind. Like, people are way more trusting of friends and family than of an ad that they see or a post that they just see online, right? Beyond friends and family, 88% of people trust online reviews written by other customers as much as they trust recommendations from personal friends. Okay, so reviews are another big part of this. I'm going to talk to you about that a little bit. When they see reviews, when they see a lot of reviews, it makes people have similar feelings to friends and family recommending somebody, okay? So reviews are important. I do feel like reviews are still super important, but we have become a little more skeptical, right, of reviews in 2023. So there's that. And that's when there's like 10,000 reviews. It's like, I don't know about that. Okay, again, kind of hitting home the same point. 75% of people don't believe advertisements, yet 90% trust suggestions from family and friends. Yeah, it's all the same stuff. People are 90% more likely to trust and buy from a brand recommended by a friend. 88% of consumers place the highest level of trust in word of mouth recommendations from people they know. 75% of people don't trust paid advertising, which I thought was very funny. And then in the US, only 4% of customers trust brand sponsored content. Okay, so to me, that was kind of like, sponsored content that could even go into the influencer realm, right? It's like, well, you're getting paid to talk about that. I don't really know. So word of mouth is super important because we want to take specifically our best, most favorite, loyal, high-paying clients that we have, and we want to multiply them, right? Like, do you guys have a client in mind that you're like, man, if I could just have 5 more of her, I would be so happy and so excited. So that's kind of what we can do with word of mouth when we're being strategic. But here is where we get stuck, okay? What usually happens is we're randomly getting referrals and word of mouth people coming in and seeing us, right? I hear all the time where it's like, oh, my main way of getting clients is referrals, but I only randomly get someone in. I've told my clients to recommend me, but they're not doing it. I don't really know what the hang up is. I'm rarely seeing anybody come in. We also kind of set it and forget it, okay? So that's another mistake that we make. We set up a referral program, or maybe we're really good at that first visit with a new client being like, hey, don't forget to recommend me. You get $20 off when someone comes in and says that you sent them in. We mention it one time, we're super pumped about it even. And then we're worried about feeling maybe pushy. We're worried about like sounding repetitive. And so we kind of don't talk about it again. We're setting it and forgetting it, which you guys, people are busy. They are overwhelmed. They have 100 notifications with their dog, peeing on their living room carpet and their baby crying and their mom knocking at their door. Like, people are just busy. So setting it and forgetting it might have worked 5 years ago, but it's just not something that works right now. Okay, and then the other big mistake that we make when it comes to word of mouth is forgetting to ask for reviews, or having a system even set up to get reviews. So, we have these clients that are like, oh my God, I love it. This is the best hair I've ever had in my life. You're the most amazing hairstylist. We kind of just get excited in that moment and like treasure that moment with our client. We forget to ask them to write us a review. And then even if we do get a review, we forget to share them. We forget to talk about them frequently. I think that a lot of times we just don't want to come off as like spammy, right? And too repetitive. But you guys, a lot of times people aren't seeing every single post. They're not seeing every single story you do. So we need to be able to step up and be a little more forward with the reviews that we have and with the clients that we have. So what can you do instead, right? Like, if you related to all of those things and you want to see more strangers coming in, right? You want to see more new clients, fresh faces from word of mouth, then here are 3 things that I definitely recommend that you should do, okay? So the first one is another interesting stat that I found, and this is what's changed, okay? This is where we are now and how our industry and consumer behavior is evolving. It has been found that brands that inspire emotional intensity receive 3 times as much word of mouth marketing as less emotionally connected brands. Okay, so emotional connection matters. Now, we always talk about like having boundaries, not being too personal and all of that stuff. So if that's where your mind went when I said like emotional connection, I just want you to know that is definitely not exactly what I'm talking about. Although people, part of building connection with our clients is them getting to know us. But we really want to be building emotional connections in each point of our marketing, in each point of our business. And of our time behind the chair with each client. So the way that we do this that makes sense for growing our business, right, is really sharing more about your passion. Sharing your client stories. You know, you can share them anonymously. There's no, like, you don't have to put anybody on blast if it makes you uncomfortable, but really sharing your heart. What inspired you to get into the industry? What is your favorite thing about your career? You know, so often, and the same thing is kind of where like home hair care has shifted as well, but we used to need to talk about features and benefits and bullet points of, you know, facts for why people should be with us and that kind of thing. It used to be way more analytical in terms of our marketing, where now the new consumer who has access to 1,000 options at her fingertips, she is looking for more. Anybody in your city can probably do a good enough job and replicate her inspo picture good enough. Why should she pick you? So this is where building an emotional connection is so, so important. Otherwise, people are just gonna leave feeling like, yeah, it was fine. It was okay. So we wanna make sure that we're building those emotional connections, not only when we're behind the chair, but in our content. So many times I go to y'all's pages and you have tons of pretty pictures. You probably even talk about your formulas and your process, but I'm missing your heart. You know, when I'm talking to you in the DMs, you're like, I love empowering women to be bold and be, you know, the best version of themselves. But when I look at your content, I'm not seeing that anywhere. Someone is going to emotionally connect with that. They're going to say, oh, this is deeper than giving me the haircut I want. This is a higher purpose and a higher mission, okay? So that's gonna be number one for getting your word of mouth to go. Now, the reason why, you guys, this works in getting your clients to talk about you is because people wanna feel like they're part of something better and bigger, especially in the community. Like, there's so much crazy stuff that happens. There are so many different things going on in our world. People want to be a light. They want to go out and, you know, share positivity with their friends, help their friends go to somebody who is genuine and has a heart and a passion for what they're doing. So it helps to keep people inspired, okay? Because, you know, it can feel awkward to be like, yeah, go see so-and-so, right? Especially if you're worried maybe they won't click, maybe it's not gonna be like the right fit. So this is going to make it easy for your clients to recommend you. Okay, and as we know, as I talk about like a broken record, if it's not easy, people won't do it, okay? So that's number one. So the second thing, and we kind of talked about this in the mistakes that I was mentioning earlier, but when we have a referral program, this is not set it and forget it, okay? I want you guys to understand that you're not a broken record. It isn't greedy to talk about it. It isn't like weird. It is all very great for you to be continually reminding your clients. Like I said, they have 100 notifications, their phone is ringing, their baby's crying, someone's knocking on their door, and they're thinking about a mistake they made 10 years ago, right? This is the world that we live in. So we need to make sure that we are continually reminding people of the perks and benefits of sending in their friends and family, of why they should send in their friends and family. So we don't want to set it and forget it. So really easy ways to do this. And I teach my luxury client method students very specifically how to do exactly all of these steps, but we want to have some visual reminders. Okay, not only to remind our clients who are sitting there, but also to remind us, right? When we can see the visual cue, it's like, oh yeah, I should remind my client about that, right? It's like right in front of our face. We also want to send out monthly text reminders. Again, sending out info about your referral program 12 times a year, that might sound like, oh my God, Ren, that's insane. But you guys, it's not. People don't know. And a lot of people aren't going to see every single text or every single post. So then lastly, in your monthly content, okay, we want to make sure that you're reminding people of your referral program. Okay, so, you know, learn how to get $100 off of your next visit with me. Learn how to join my influencer program, right? And then talk about it that way. But we want to be reminding people the perks of being our client and sending in people, okay? So that's number two. Now, number 3 is something that, again, this has changed in the past few years. So this is going to be what we call in marketing is like user generated content, okay? We want to get your clients posting about you, right? So your clients might forget to literally talk about you or literally bring up your name in conversations. They just might be busy. They have a lot of their own stuff going on. But if you can create more opportunities and more reminders to get your clients actually posting about you, you are getting access to their network in that way. So then this is something you can reshare, put in your stories, comment on, go through and like everybody's photos who liked the image. So one of the ways to make this really easy is when you do your photo shoot with them, at the end of the service, even if it's just the back of their hair, okay, and you're not doing the front facing pictures or whatever, we want to actually send those photos over to our clients, okay? So this does a couple of things, but first, it's going to make them just be like, wow, oh my God, my hair looks so good, okay? Like, they're gonna be psyched. So it's like reinforcing the positivity from the experience, but it is also going to encourage them to throw up a post with those pictures in it. Okay, how easy is that? That's probably the best their hair is going to look for the next 6 weeks, you know? And so this is going to give them something to post and a way to talk about you. So another way is by running selfie and tag promotions. Okay, so this is especially good during quote unquote slow seasons, although in the luxury client method, I teach you how to not have slow seasons at all. But in a slow season, in the early part of the year, in the summer before the holidays, we can run like enter to win type posts where when people are posting about you, when they're posting selfies and they're tagging you in their posts, they are actually being entered to win something super cool, right? It can even be a beauty basket with some tools in it, you know, whatever. You can come up with some creative stuff, get other local businesses to donate things, but create opportunities where people want to take that next step. Like we were talking about with building that emotional connection, we want to get people to do it. Like people have so much demand on their time, on their attention, that they might even want to. They might sincerely love you so much and feel like your family and your everything, but because there's not that like little nudge to like push them, they forget. They aren't motivated to do it and talk about you. So these 3 things are just going to help them remember. And repetition is really the key to all marketing. I mean, in general, people say people need to see something 8 times before they're ready to take action on it. So how can you create that 8 times sooner rather than later, right? How can you get them there way sooner? And then also, one little bonus that I would say is like when you are getting referrals, so when Sydney sends in somebody and it was a great fit, all of that, I think publicly shouting out Sydney and giving that acknowledgement of like, I absolutely love when my clients are sending in, you know, people to me. Sydney did an amazing job. She said XYZ and I got to meet, you know, Ren, and it was a perfect fit. This makes me so happy. I feel so loved and taken care of when you guys do this for me. This is like that positive reinforcement, because then your other clients are going to see you shouting this out and be like, wait, I'm supposed to be your favorite client. That should be me. Like, you should be shouting out me. Like, what do I need to do to get that kind of like positive attention? Okay, so this is how you can really be sure to have your word of mouth working for you. So another thing is like how to tell if it's working. So obviously the main way is just going to be tracking. How many new people are coming to see you on a regular basis? How are they finding you when they do come in? Is a referral program working? Have you even had anybody take you up on your referral program? So if the answer is kind of like no, 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 like none of it seems to be working, then we just need to continue to build awareness of it. Like I said, a lot of times the reason people don't do it isn't because they don't want to, it's because they genuinely forget, okay? It slips their mind. So the more that we can be like raise awareness of this with our clients, and even raise awareness of the benefits of working with you, why you're different, why you are the best option for your, person to trust, I think that's gonna help. Lastly, I will close it out with this, especially for my students who are getting really busy. Some clients literally are like, I don't want to recommend you because then I won't be able to get in, okay? Like, my busier stylists out there will totally know what I'm talking about. And so this is another thing that we can talk about in our content and in our stories. As I'm growing and getting busier, I want you to know my loyal clients get VIP and first access to me. Really use your content and your stories and your platform as a way to address these kind of like doubts, questions, fears, or anything like that. Just head on, just talk about it. Mention the elephant in the room and kind of take away any of that reason for somebody to act like that, to not recommend you, to make excuses to not do it. So that is what I would recommend. I believe my power just went out, which is super weird, but totally fine. So I hope that you guys are feeling really good about little changes that you guys can make moving forward in making your referral program and your word of mouth strategy even better. Like I said in the beginning, word of mouth shouldn't be the main strategy for you getting clients, okay? So if you're relying on that as the only way to bring new clients in and to make more money, you are leaving yourself really vulnerable, because what happens is your growth, your progress, your ability to make more money is fully in other people's hands. So it's important, but you need to also have other main ways that are in your control to get new clients in, okay? If you can't picture what that looks like, definitely DM me the word clients, because that's what I do every day, is I show stylists how to get high-end loyal clients on a regular basis in very short time every day. It doesn't take a lot of, like a lot of people feel like social media or marketing their business is another job. It's another full-time job, part-time job, and I can show you how to make that easier. So that's that. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging with me throughout this whole entire thing. If you have questions about your specific referral program, your specific scenario with where your word of mouth is, jump in my DMs. Let's go ahead and talk about it. I can help you troubleshoot or brainstorm some new ideas, but I love you guys. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week, and I will see you next week. Okay? Bye, guys.